Vibha, thank you so much for dropping in with us at the Chennai Storytelling Festival 2022. I believe you're visiting us from Australia. Is that true? Is that the case?
Yeah, that's the case. I have an Indian background, but I live in Sydney, Australia.
Wonderful.
And yeah.
Great. Okay, so please introduce yourself fully. Tell us about your work and please tell us a story.
Sure. My name is Vibha. I live in Sydney, Australia. I work in the area of mental health, and I absolutely love stories. I love the healing effect stories have on people and how stories can be used for therapy. So I'm first time I'm telling a story, so I'm really nervous and excited at the same time. I like to light a candle for the beginning of the story. I like to tell you a story which you are familiar with, but you might not know this version of the story. Once upon a time, there was a king and a queen who longed to have a child. One morning, the queen decided to go bathing by the river. She went to the river, and on the riverbed, she saw a fish that was gasping for air on the riverbed. She picked it up and put it back by the river. To her surprise and amazement, the fish started talking to her, saying that, "Thank you so much for saving my life. I have the power to give you anything that you want. And of course, the queen wished for a child. So it was told, so it happened. The queen gave birth to a beautiful baby girl whose name they named Sapna. The king was overjoyed, and he gave a huge banquet for all the people in the kingdom. And there were 13 fairies in the kingdom, but only 12 golden plates. This was the dilemma. So he decided to leave one of the fairies out and invite only the 12 fairies to the banquet. There was great joy at the banquet. And at the end of the banquet, each of the fairies gave a blessing to the child. One gave intelligence, another gave wisdom, another gave beauty. Now, before the 12th fairy, she could give her blessing, the door opened, and the 13th fairy came charging in the door, full of anger and revenge. She cursed the child, saying that on your 15th year, you will prick your finger on a spindle and die. Now, the 12th fairy had not given her blessing yet, but could not reverse the curse, but could soften it. She said, she gave the blessing that the girl will prick her finger on the spindle for the 15th year and not die, but sleep for 100 years. Now, wouldn't you like to know what Sleeping Beauty did while she was asleep? Well, I can tell you. Sleeping Beauty fell into sleep, a deeper and deeper and deeper sleep, till she found herself flying through the universe, through planets, through comets. She thought to herself, is this real? Or am I dreaming? She knew it was real, but she felt the wind blowing through her hair and the air pushing through her face. She landed on the ground. Sapna landed on the ground with a great big thud. This is a rough landing she thought to herself. She slowly picked herself up and dusted herself off. I'm ready for adventure, she thought. And she saw a path in front of her, a path that led through a forest. It was a magical path. She stepped upon it. It appeared and disappeared at different times. She only had her feelings to guide her. She trusted her feelings, and she eventually reached to a big black cave. And on the cave were the words, "Only the brave can pass here." Sapna thought, I am brave. I want to know what's inside this cave. So she entered the cave slowly but confidently. The cave was so dark that all she could see was the thing. She could not even see the hands in front of her face. She immersed herself in this darkness for minutes, hours, and days. She lost touch of time. Soon, figures of light appeared from the darkness. These were people, men and women and little children that she had never seen before. They were full of light and they had a glow in their eyes. She approached one of the men, elderly men, and said, "Can you please teach me about the mysteries of this universe?" Sapna always wanted to know about life and death and everything in between. So the man taught her how to use her mind in various ways, how to focus her mind, how to visualize. He taught her chants, sacred chants that she could chant in times of trouble. She approached a woman and he taught her how to do sacred art and sculpture using her fingers and hands. Sapna's fingers started tingling with excitement as she put her face, her fingers on the clay and looked at all the colors that you could use to paint. Sapna also approached another woman that was there, and she taught her how to heal people through illnesses with plants and herbs and flowers. She even taught Sapna how to dye cloth in different ways so that you could have patterns on it using basically flowers and plants from the environment. She knew how to, this younger figures approached Sapna, teaching her how to dance in various ways, move her body to various rhythms. Sapna was amazed at what she was learning. She was even taught how to read oracles and what to do when a certain animal passed her path, and how she could imbibe qualities from this animal and incorporate it in her life. Then she thought to herself, it's not what I'm learning, but it's the person I'm becoming. And the light became even brighter as she said this. And there were waterfalls of cascading silver and rivers of gold and flowers of different colors, such as red, yellow, blue, purple. She felt sad, but she knew she had to leave this place one day. But she wanted to share with the kingdom what she had known and what she had learned. So she slowly got up and she walked to the end of the cave into the light, where the light was so bright that it woke Sleeping Beauty up, who was Sapna. And she went downstairs where everybody was overjoyed to see her, down the spiral staircase where everybody was overjoyed to see her. And she started the School of the Arts, where she shared what she had learned. Now, whether she found her prince or not, that is up for you to decide. But all I know is that she lived happily ever after to the end of her days. Thank you. Thank
Okay, thank you so much.
That's okay.
For,
I was really nervous. I hope it came across okay.
Came fine.
Oh, good. Okay.
So that's your version of Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, that's right.
See, we never knew she had such a rich inner life.
Yeah, she had a great inner life. And I like to know people's reactions about what their first reactions to the story and what they think of their first reactions to this version of Sleeping Beauty.
Marina has written wonderful inner traveling. See, many people don't know about her inner traveling and her inner life.
No, they don't. And often we do things, we look like we're not doing anything from the outside, but we're actually doing a lot. We're doing a lot of inner work. And I think that's what this story is about.
Could you spell her name in the chat?
Sure.
Could you say her name again and then spell it?
It's Sapna, and it's Sapna, which means dream, actually. In Hindi, I think.
It means free what?
It means dream.
Oh, dream.
Yeah.
And is that
Sapna.
Is that the name you have given her, Vibha?
That's the name I've given her. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
That's
So,
nice.
Well, I think you have really helped this character because, you know, a lot of people criticize Sleeping Beauty, or they criticize the story that she is just passive, she's waiting for the prince, she's not really doing anything. But in your version, she's very active. It's just some people cannot perceive it.
No, and I think that one thing I forgot to say in the story was that everybody fell asleep when she fell asleep. So time stood still. And when she woke up, everybody woke up. So I think that's an important element of the story as well, too, that time can be really transforming and it can freeze at certain times, and you think it's very subjective in a way.
Now, Marina is asking, do you use this as a healing story for people with psychological problems? Marina, I think you have an idea about how this story could be used. Could you elaborate on your thought? How could this story be used?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just thinking of because you said you worked with people with psychological problems or something like that.
Yes, mental health. Yes.
Mental health.
Yes.
Thank you. So I was really seeing this story as a way of maybe using it as that's why my question, if you use it as to tell this story for people that are struggling with the darkness or feeling lost, as a way of going down into the sleep, to the deep sleep, and to find these creative ways of to come back to life, like to be reborn, a rebirthing way, just like the shamanic stories we had. Some weeks we were talking about the shamanic traveling. So this is, for me, it's like a shamanic traveling, going down through different gates and to bring treasures to come up to life, to live life again.
Yes, yeah, so true. Thanks. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, but you haven't been thinking of doing
I
that.
haven't used this story at all. It's a new story, so I haven't used it at all for anything, any healing at the moment. I was just told it. Yeah. No, but it'd be a really good way to be used that way.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
yeah. what I was thinking.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I think it's a very powerful version because many of us, when we do have difficulties, I remember a time in my life when I felt I was wasting my life.
Yeah.
So much time was being wasted. But if I would have heard this story, I would have realized maybe that this time of isolation and stillness, it is not a waste, but it's a stage along the way.
Actually, it happened to me in my life too, that I transformed most when people thought outwardly I wasn't doing much, but yeah, inwardly I was doing a lot. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, does anyone want to add anything, or is that enough? Okay, Vibha, thank you so very,
Thank you
very
so
much.
much for having me. Thank you for organizing this whole conference, Eric. It's been a wonderful experience for me. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.